I'm getting ready to do the Batman movie review. By this time, pretty much everyone in my circle has seen it. So hopefully that's been the same for everyone else out there. Told you I was going to do the review, so here it is. Let's get into it. Okay, movie. The overall movie was, I thought, man, like, is phenomenal the word I want to use? I'm not sure. But I think it's very appropriate that I use that word. Obviously, it's a detective approach to the Cape Crusader, what we're typically used to in some of the previous movies where, you know, Batman is, you know, knocking cats out left and right, you know what I mean? So the whole detective series, or this detective adaptation of Batman, is really dope because he is known as the world's greatest detective. So yeah, the details in that were freaking dope, man. Like, from him thinking his thoughts out loud, you know, in the sense of that the viewer can understand where he's coming from, how he's looking at things, how he's studying and observing. Freaking dope. Yeah, the story I thought was dope. It was phenomenal. It was dope. I know a lot of cats was hating on it prior because of, you know, who was going to play Batman and all this other stuff. I kind of looked at it with an open mind because it was like Pattinson, right? Everybody knew him for like Twilight. But I'm like, at the end of the day, this man is a paid actor. He gets paid to act and act very well. You know, they hated Michael Keaton back in the day, and everybody thought that he was going to be a horrible Batman. He's one of the most iconic versions of Batman. He's true nostalgia of Batman. Speaking of which, I believe that is the correlation from what I've seen in Michael Keaton's Batman to Robert Pattinson's Batman. I felt like this Batman was the Batman movie. Robert Pattinson's Batman is like a upgraded version of the Michael Keaton Batman, because to me it gave me a nostalgia, the dark undertone that it had. I thought all fit Michael Keaton's like portrayal and that movie. Yeah, I just love the dark undertone of it, a little bit of seriousness, and yeah. So Robert Pattinson did his thing, man. He did his thing, bro. And it was you know, with this Batman, he's been Batman for like 2 years. So he's new to it. He's a young Batman. And he's getting his footing down. He's not perfect. He's not the seasoned Batman that we're used to. But, you know, he's still handling his own. So what I mean by that is, like, we're used to, you know, Batman not taking hits often, you know what I mean, coming in and knocking cats out. This one, he took a couple of hits. And it was dope. Like, I ain't gonna spoil the movie too much, you know what I'm saying, but it was dope. Yeah, like, he was rough around the edges. You could tell he was, what's the word? I don't want to use the word nervous, but he did seem timid in parts, interestingly enough. And like I said, I probably would just chalk that up to him being a younger Batman, not quite the seasoned veteran that a lot of people are used to. So yeah, but Pattinson did a phenomenal job. Also, going back into, you know, people doubting that this movie was going to be dope. I knew this movie was going to be dope when I found out Matt Reeves was going to be directing this joint. The reason why I say that is because this man did the Planet of the Apes, the revamp of the bitch. And them joints was hard. Them joints was hard. You know what I'm saying? It was a thinking type of movie. You know what I mean? Like, it was thought-provoking. So I was like, oh, they're getting him to do the detective Batman? Oh, yeah. You had me sold. Because I seen what he did with Planet of the Apes, and I was just like, yeah. This guy's bad. This guy's about to handle it. So, yeah. Anyway, and he delivered. Both of these guys delivered. Let's get to the rest of the cast. Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman. Amazing. She did awesome. I love the relationship between her and Batman. I love the relationship between her and Balcony. I was making motherfucking spoiler. But anywho, yeah, I love the relationship between them. Specifically though with Batman and Catwoman, why I like the story and their relationship is because it wasn't the portrayal between the two wasn't very typical. In the sense of, ooh, these two like each other, and then, Catwoman's the damsel in distress type of deal. It wasn't really like that. I mean, you could tell that it was the subtlety of the vibes. Like, I don't think a Batman movie has portrayed vibes and the subtlety of them on camera quite like this. Matter of fact, none of them have. It's literally in your face. This movie nailed it with all the subtlety. So yeah, their relationship was freaking dope. And let me see. Let's go into Penguin. Who was the cat that played Penguin? Man, he's like an A-list actor, and I'm forgetting the name of him right now. That's crazy. Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Dope. He was dope, bro. Like, I like it. This adaptation of Penguin was very realistic. Like the whole movie was somewhat realistic, Like, they weren't over the top with the acting. It seemed really natural, really real. And not in the sense of just really real. It's weird to explain. Like, if the Penguin was a real life character, I feel like that would have been him. Does that make sense? So yeah, he was dope. He fucking nailed it. Who else? Falcone, the guy that played him, dope. Commissioner Gordon. Man, Jeffrey Wright, Commissioner Gordon. That dude, first of all, he's just a very solid actor. Period. This whole cast, all of them were good. All of them are solid actors. Going back to Gordon, right? I loved his portrayal of Commissioner Gordon. And the acting that he did for it was it was unique. It was unique. Like, what was one of the lines in the movie that he said? I don't know, it was just like his mannerisms were really dope. Like, they weren't typical, normal mannerisms, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I'll just use an example. Like he'll come up and, you know, when he's whispering, because like even his character, I felt like, excuse me, I felt like even his character was, it almost mirrored Batman's, because starting off, he's not Commissioner Gordon. And it's kind of like, he's definitely necessary. Well, because he's working with Batman, he's not doing things exactly by the book, even though he's a good cop, you know what I mean? He's using outside help. He's using a vigilante, and which they have awesome chemistry. But Commissioner Gordon and Batman, to me, are both similar in terms of they aren't experienced in the characters that we grew to know. You know, they aren't their seasoned selves. So yeah, Commissioner Gordon, he seems like a little, you know, he's playing it safe around the other cops. You know, he's a little timid, but he wants the case solved. But yeah, his how he be acting, man, he just like, so who do you think that is? Oh, okay. Yeah, like he has like that type of uniqueness to him. I thought it was fucking entertaining. It was fucking entertaining. Who else? Riddler. Let's backtrack, okay? Let's go to Jim Carrey's Riddler. Jim Carrey's Riddler is pretty much like Batman the Animated Series Riddler. A little over the top. Is charismatic the word I want to use for that? But definitely had a lot of character. If you know what I'm saying, if you mouth what I'm spilling. It was entertaining, especially for that type of film. And that's also a difference, you know what I mean? Jim Carrey's Riddler fit that type of Batman movie with Val Kilmer. It was kid friendly. You know what I mean? Now, Batman fans look back on it and say, man, the movie was garbage. And, you know what I mean? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know what I mean? Was it my favorite Batman movie? No, not at all. Being a grown man? No. Like, looking back on it as a kid, the mess was entertaining. And, you know, I'm sure, and that's what it was supposed to be, I feel like. It was supposed, like, Batman, first of all, I don't think those movies were out to win Oscars. Yeah, so let's just get that out your head right now. Like, I don't think back in, like, the 90s, early 2000s, those movies were trying to win an Oscar. But they were entertaining for a kid. Fast forward now. Grown people, Batman fans. That joint was crazy. Now I feel like Cats is out to win something. They're out to prove something with these superhero movies. That's what I feel like. They are out to prove something with these superhero movies because the casting is dope, the storylines is dope, the action is dope. You can't lose. I personally feel like Hollywood right now, their cash cows is superhero movies. Period. Like, nobody's going to the movie theaters to see no comedies. They ain't seeing no dramas. They're coming to see the superhero movies. That's what they're coming to see. And that's what is going to be their box office hits, superhero movies. So you better do it right. And they coming to win some Oscars. They coming to win some awards. All right, that's my rant off that. Back to the Riddler. This cat, Paul Dano, I believe that's how you say his last name. Amazing. Amazing. Like, he was the total opposite, obviously, of Jim Carrey's Riddler. His adaptation of the Riddler, I felt, was like, if a Riddler existed in the real world, that would be him. That's just what I feel like. I feel like if a real Riddler was in the real world, that would be Paul Dano. From his look to his mental illness to everything, bro. Like, it was dope. Like, and the Riddler has never been like a top favorite villain of mine by any means. I felt like he was just there, you know, to a filler story. But this adaptation was, this is solid. This is solid. This is a solid Riddler. It was dope. I don't want to get into ranking because I just really want to stick to the Batman in the movie. So Paul Dano's Riddler was dope. Okay, so I will say this, right? I felt like the trailers for the Batman were to steer you in the wrong direction for the movie. For what you think is going to happen. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. These trailers are liars. And they've been liars since Avengers. All right? They've been lying. Look, they're making these trailers to steer you in the wrong direction. So by the time you see the movie, you're not really guessing how it's going to play out, how it's going to end. You're not guessing the ending so much. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel slightly used, but I also feel okay in the same way because it was a good work of art. So, I'll allow it as if I had a choice. I'll allow it. You keep leading us astray as long as the movie is going to be dope. Like I said, there's a couple people that have not seen the movie yet and that are going to watch this review. So I don't want to spoil it too much. God damn it. I'm going to leave it at that. But how you think it's going to go is not how it's going to go. All right, so as if you couldn't tell, I like the movie. What is my review of the movie? What do I think? I give it a 5 out of 5. I personally give it a 5 out of 5. There were details and subtlety that I really enjoyed. Like I said, the cast was dope. the story, the spirit of the film. Yeah. So if I were to compare, right? Action scenes I thought were good. I thought they were really good. You know, especially in the spirit of this Batman. But it's going to be hard, and I will say this against any comic book movie. Top 3 fight scenes in any comic book movie. Honestly, this is probably the top 1. Was Ben Affleck's warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman. That comic book scene had the best fight scene ever for a comic book movie. Period. That's my opinion. And I think that's obviously it's a strong opinion, but I don't really see a lot of comic book movie fight scenes competing with that warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman. That scene probably, I don't want to say carried that movie, but dang, it was an important part of that movie. So, there were no fight scenes like that in the Batman, in Robert Pattinson's Batman. Which is cool. Like I said, I'll always take a very good story over, you know, a lot of special effects and a lot of fight. As long as the story's solid, I can, you know, I'm good with some of the other things. But, for future reference, if they had this detective type of Batman with the Ben Affleck warehouse scene fighting Batman, bruh. And that's all I'm going to say at that. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think of the movie in the comments below. Obviously, I loved it. I think a majority of Batman fans loved it. Yeah, and this movie stands on its own. You know what I mean? To compare it to the other Batmans, people are going to do that, right? But this is a solid Batman film. It can be ranked amongst the great Batman films, like the Dark Knight series. This is on top with that. It's on top with that. It is not less than. This film stands alone. Robert Pattinson is Batman. Now, I'm not going to get into, you know, my favorite Batman or my favorite Batman movie. I'm not about to do that. I'm going to just bask in the presence of the Batman movie. It was dope. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I mean? Like I said, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think, how you felt. I'm interested. I think that's all I want to say right now. Yeah. Appreciate y'all watching. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And you know what I mean? We're going to keep it moving. The Batman. Dope piece of work. Deuces. I said deuces. What is that? What is this? What is this? That's how you know I don't have anything else to say. Bye.